Sitting here with Lady Lions head coach Coquese Washington. And Coquese, you were a part of a pretty unique thing, the Whitepaper Summit with the NCAA this summer. Give us an idea of what that Whitepaper Summit was about.
Well, it was a chance for a number of people who have a vested interest in the game and are stakeholders in the game of women's basketball to really get together and, one, dissect the white paper, but also kind of come to some consensus on different issues that are impacting our game. And so we spent a full day talking about a whole host of things and kind of came to some conclusions on the most important issues to address immediately in order to make the game of women's basketball continue to be an exciting game, a game that fans love, a game that our sponsors will feel good about supporting, and making sure that the game continues to grow over the next 4 or 5 years and then into the far future.
And then if you could just give the idea, they called it the Whitepaper Summit, but what was the basis of the white paper, or who produced the white paper, I guess?
Well, Val Ackerman produced the white paper. She's the new commissioner of the Big East Conference, but has a long and storied and valuable history in women's basketball. So the basis of the white paper was essentially this: let's analyze the game of women's basketball. Let's see what's working well, what parts aren't working so well, and what do we have to do to fix those parts that aren't working so well. Because we recognize this game is awesome. It is really awesome. And we need to make sure that we don't get complacent and allow it to kind of taper off. We want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep this game operating at a high level. And so let's analyze it, let's dissect it, and let's figure out some action steps we can take to make sure we keep the game where it needs to be.
And there were a lot of heavy hitters in that room within the game of women's basketball. What was the energy like? What was it like to be a part of a group of passionate individuals like that?
Well, you know what? There's some opinionated people in that room too. But it was really good because of the people in the room, there were no holds barred. And so the dialogue was really, really high-level dialogue and honest and true dialogue. And so when you have that kind of dialogue, then you can come out of that with true understanding of what needs to happen next. And that was probably the best thing about the whole day, was that you've got some high-powered individuals who aren't afraid to or are willing to share their opinions, but we're really good listeners and willing to hear other opinions and maybe change what they thought based on the respect of the people that were in the room.
And then you guys had a couple of recommendations that you're going to make to the NCAA. Could you touch on just maybe what some of those were?
Well, there's a couple of things that we kind of came out of it. One in particular was the importance of keeping the regionals neutral in the NCAA championship. We felt that was something important that we wanted to try to do, and we have to figure out creative ways to make that happen. But that was important. Cleaning up the game and making the game a little less physical so that there's more movement, more flow, more fluidity, especially on the offensive end. That will hopefully increase scoring and make the game even more exciting to our fans than it is now. We want to explore moving the date of the Final Four for women's basketball and see what kind of impact that has on attendance and for the championship game. I think we talked about establishing a rules laboratory so we can, again, just continue to explore ways to make the game and keep the game appealing and fun to play, fun to coach, and exciting for our fans to watch.
And then one thing you guys also touched on was the development of the youth programs. Absolutely. And the high school game. As a teacher yourself, you're always teaching on the court. How important is the teaching aspect at those youth levels?
It's critical. It's critical that kids are introduced to the game and they're learning the fundamentals. They're learning the foundational techniques and aspects of the game that will allow them to achieve on a higher level. And so we realized that the development of coaches on every level, but in particular on the youth level is crucial. We recognize it's important for current coaches and current head coaches in college to continue to study the game and be on the fronting end of trying new techniques and new strategies and things like that. So player development and coaching development are two critical aspects that we feel are important moving forward.
And with all those head coaches in that room, did we schedule any new series, anything big coming up there, or was that not talked about?
We did not talk scheduling, not at all, not at all.
One way you were involved with the game this year was the World University Games. You were an assistant coach on that staff. What was that experience like, getting to be on the international stage a little bit?
It was unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. I certainly think I became much more patriotic than I already am. I mean, you know, when you're walking around and, you know, you're wearing the USA and the red, white, and blue, and I mean, it's just an amazing experience. And it's you know, you hear it all the time. There's nothing better than representing your country, but the level of pride that you have for your country comes out in those international play. And it was really fun. Now, I was in Russia during 20 hours of daylight, so I didn't get a lot of sleep.
Not a lot of shut-eye.
Not a lot of shut-eye over there. But, you know, coaching with Sherry Cole and Brian Georges was, you know, a really good coaching experience. You know, I've definitely gained two friends and colleagues that I respect a lot. And so we had a good time working together.
What was the feeling like? You guys won the gold medal. Mm-hmm. What was the feeling like when you got that gold medal, just to think about maybe your journey through basketball to that point?
Oh, I had butterflies. You know, we had butterflies. I mean, we were standing up on that podium and, you know, we couldn't stop grinning and couldn't stop hugging because it was such a journey. And, you know, when you coach for USA basketball, the expectation is you win the gold. That's it. We don't talk about anything else. So, you know, there's a little bit of pressure there, you know, that we've got to find a way to win the gold. And, you know, without a lot of sleep and, you know, with being in a different country and all those kind of things, just to be able to come together as a team and to make that happen and to get that gold medal placed around your neck, it's indescribable.
So your summer was spent developing the game and talking about different ways to move the game forward. Mm-hmm. What do you bring back from those two experiences to your team and your staff? What do you talk to them about from those experiences?
Well, you know, certainly we got to talk about continuing to elevate what we do as a program, you know, from the way we operate, the way we coach the game, understanding that rule changes may come in, so we may have to change how we've taught things and what things we've emphasized. You know, that there's going to be a heightened emphasis on physical play this year. So we've got to make sure that we're ready to take advantage of the rules changes. And just understanding and learning from watching some of the teams we played against overseas, you know, some of the strategies and the techniques that they used. You know, we kind of get in the conference room and we start debating things and talking about, well, I saw the Russians do this. What do you guys think about that? Or I saw that, you know, the Japanese men were warming up and they did this warm-up drill. So it's definitely brought a new level of conversation and energy to our program, and that's what makes it fun.
That's women's basketball head coach Coquese Washington. Coach, thanks for joining us and talking about the game.
Thank you.